Hello again. Let's talk about how we can edit the clip that's already in our timeline. Now, in the previous couple videos, we added titles in a couple different ways. But now this time, let's see what else we can do. And as before, if we want to edit this clip at the bottom, then you'll have to tap on it. So by tapping somewhere on the clip, you get the yellow around the clip, and then you'll also see choices change at the bottom. Now, one thing I want to point out right away here is that you can see my audio wavelengths right below the clip. And the reason for that is because I've turned them on. Now, over here on the right-hand side, you can see that I've turned them on. Now, if I tap on that wavelength icon again, it'll take them away. So it just depends on whether or not you want to see them. I like to see them. So since we're talking about audio wavelengths, and I've turned them on, let's go ahead and edit those. So once again, with my clip selected, down in the lower left-hand corner, you see video is highlighted right now. But if I want to edit audio, I'm going to have to tap on audio. So let's do that. Now here's some of my choices. So let's say my voice was a little soft in this video, or the people in the video, their voices, I couldn't hear them well. So I can just take my finger right now, and I can just slide it up, and I can increase the volume. You'll notice as I'm increasing the volume, you can see the wavelengths are affected. And when I go back down, you can see that they go back down. And now it'll be quite a bit louder than it was before. So that's a nice feature to have. Also on the right-hand side on the bottom, if you needed to detach that audio and maybe put it somewhere else, you can do that. But we're not going to do that at this time. Now that was the audio. Now let's look at some of the things we can do with the video. By tapping on it again, remember I had audio selected on the lower left, so let's tap back on video. Now you can freeze if you want. I'm going to show you freeze. So let's say we're going through this and you want the video to stop right where it's at for a couple seconds for some reason. Maybe you wanted to point something out. Okay, there's an easy way to do that. By tapping on the video, and then I tap freeze, it'll take a 2-second clip right here. So wherever my playhead was at, my playhead happened to be right there. And when I selected the video and I tapped freeze, then what it did was took that moment in time and took a 2-second little chunk out of it that will hold still, and it'll freeze. And then it'll pick back up the video where you left off. Okay, let's show you something else. I'm going to select the clip again. We've already looked at title and split and freeze. How about speed? So I've tapped on a clip here. It's selected, it's yellow. And if I tap on speed now, notice the only thing I can do on this iPad is slow it down. Now I can take the speed of this clip, and 1x is the normal speed. And let's say I want it to be, half the speed, or quite a bit. There you go, there's half. So it'll really slow it down. But notice I can't go faster than the normal speed. Now I'm told on brand new iPads, you can then increase the speed. So in this example, this iPad isn't brand new, so I can only slow it down. Now let's just look at some other things you can do. Let's say at the end of this clip, let's say I didn't want the ending of this. I can tap on it and see that yellow bar at the end. It says 40.2 seconds. If I just take my finger there and drag that in, I can shorten up the end of this clip. So now it's 39 seconds. Okay, that clip is still there. If I ever decide to add it back, I can just drag it back out. But if you wanted to get rid of something at the end or at the beginning, you can do that. But how about in the middle? Let's say we have a little pause here that we don't like. See the waveforms? And that's why I like to see them up. I can see maybe there was a pause there and it was a little bit quiet. Maybe I just want to take that out. Do you remember our trick of splitting a clip? We can tap there to highlight it, and then I can tap split where the silence begins, and maybe I want to tap there again. I place my playhead there where it starts to be noisier again and not so quiet. And if I split that, now I have this clip in the middle where it's really quiet and I wanted to get rid of that. Now, how do you get rid of this? I just take my finger and I tap on it. Now I can trash it in the lower right hand side, or I can just take my finger and press and hold. And when I press and hold that clip, notice what I can do with it. I can move it around if I wanted to move it. Notice how everything just moves over. Or at this point, if I wanted to get rid of it, notice when I go up a little bit higher, see that little cloud? That cloud, as soon as I let go of this now, it's going to disappear like a cloud. So by pressing and holding, once again, I can move clips around or parts of clips, or I can just drag it out of the timeline and let go of it, and now it's gone. Of course, I can always undo my last move. So let's undo that over here on the right side, about halfway up. There's that back arrow, and I can put it back in there. So there's a few tips for you on extra things you can do regarding editing once that clip is already in your timeline.